Welcome. Let's take a look now at some of the events to watch out for us traders. On Wednesday, the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. I've got nothing in store for you particularly leaning towards the romantic, but let me just tell you that we are getting some interesting data coming through first thing on Wednesday morning here in the UK on consumer prices, on retail prices, on producer prices. Now, this is the data. In fact, it's a week overall where we've got some really big data. We've already seen some strong jobs data out this week. But this is going to be key and could well be a pivot point for the week. We've got retail sales later on as well to watch out for, as well as GDP in the UK economy. But tomorrow, it's all about inflation. Now, this strong jobs data that we've seen coming through has pushed sterling up against a whole basket of currencies. I want to show you this trade here because I think this is going to be an interesting trade to watch out for when we get that CPI data. If it is stronger than had been expected, and the wage data coming through today suggesting that this could well be the case, we've seen the highest print for sterling against the euro and against the whole basket of other currencies, the highest we've seen since August last year in this case here. And it's pushing up in a very strong way. Now, part of this is due to the fact that expectations are for lower interest rates across the eurozone sooner than expected. Does this data this week mean that we could well end up with a situation that the Bank of England has no alternative other than to row back from expectations that interest rates are coming down sooner rather than later? If that's the case on this inflation data, and that could then well be key so far as the travel is concerned for sterling against the euro. We'll also be taking a look at the euro side of the equation when we look at some data out across the European economy, the eurozone. Fourth quarter GDP, it's a second estimate, and we are seeing some marginal growth there. Industrial production as well out, but it's quite backward-looking data. But for this, I think it's worth looking at the example of the German DAX. We've got the DAX at the moment, halfway through the session on Tuesday, down by a margin of 1/3%, and we're at 16,939. The bottom line is that we're not too far away from record highs, despite the fact that some evidence across the eurozone is that the economies are just not doing well. Despite that, we've got the German DAX not too far away from record highs. Let's take a look at what we've got in terms of some of the moves that we're expecting across some of the corporates. It's not a massively important day so far as corporates are concerned in the European markets, or certainly not here in London. I want to show you the Dunelm first half number in the context of the chart. Tomorrow we get this data release at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, we've got these lower highs that we've seen since the highs that we had in the stock back on the 9th of March last year at £12.87. We're currently trading at £10.85. And we're off the highs in today's session. We're down by a margin of almost 0.75% halfway through the trading day for Dunelm. This company's got to go great guns to see it beat this descending line of resistance that we've got just above where the shares are. We have some interesting numbers out from a couple of companies across the European markets. Delivery Hero on a fourth quarter trading statement, and also the brewer, one of the world's largest, Heineken, on its full year numbers. Now, there's a lot of concerns about the outlook for inflation and what effect that is having. A lot of cost price inflation coming through with Heineken, and I think that could well be an area which to watch out for when that company produces earnings on Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at the US. Cisco on fourth quarter numbers, Kraft Heinz also on Q4. I wanted to show you the Cisco chart. It's an all-session stock on the IG platform. It means you can trade this when the company produces earnings after the bell on Wednesday evening. The stock trades from 9 o'clock in the morning UK time right the way through to 1 o'clock the following morning. So all sessions enables you to trade this when the company comes out with results. Look at the last time it produced results, so back in November last year, that massive, great big drop that we saw in the share price. If you look at the longer term chart, you can see we've got this sort of head and shoulders pattern beginning to develop here. 4982 is where we're trading at the moment. All sessions on the IG platform, one of the companies worth looking at when it reports earnings after the bell on Wednesday. That's it for our look ahead to some of the events to watch out for on Valentine's Day 2024.